Hey there, guys. This is going to be a short book review. I'm going to talk about Math Wars. There was a Math Wars going on. I'm not sure if it still is after we all split up in COVID and went our separate ways online. Did we achieve consensus? I think we kind of stuck with the regular math books, right? But as the curtain was going up on, say, 2000s, there was a big movement to integrate math teaching with ordinary math teaching, say at the high school level. So you would be learning math with Python. And these two books, I won't call them relics. This one's fairly new, and I'm not sure if this one has gone beyond the second edition. The second edition meaning Python 3 compatibility. We're still in 3. Python 3.11 as of this recording, which is September 2023. So number systems, you can introduce a lot of math concepts contemporaneously and synchronously with computer science concepts, like the idea of number types, right? Integer versus like floating point, complex. These are actual types of objects in Python, for example. So um, I actually met the author, Peter Farrell, of this one. I've actually met one of the authors of this one as well, actually, Maria Litvin at a PyCon. But see, I was very active in the so-called math wars, both on EduSig, which still exists at the python.org, and on Math Forum, which got deleted. The discussion groups did. Now, Mandelbrot, here's another example of a teacher who had a great interest in pedagogy, andragogy, like how to teach math, and the sudden bridging to the right brain, you could call it, between the complex plane and fractals as depicted by the Mandelbrot set. That was a huge revolution, too. And I've continued to say, that's another justification why we need to get away from calculators and introduce computers in, say, high school, is we want to write the source code for Mandelbrot set, So I advertise that all throughout my curriculum. We've got spherical models by Wenninger. Here I want to emphasize my visit with David Koski. Thanks to David Koski to visit this gentleman when he was, I think, 92 years old. He's passed away since, but is one of the most cited geometers of our age. And right now, David Koski's working on the angles, the central angles in some of these great circle patterns. So continuity there. Magnus Wenninger. And finally, this final book I want to mention, The Martians of Science. Now, this is by a guy named Istvan Hargitay, and somewhere I have his book on symmetry, where I think with his wife. This one, though, is about Hungarians and the tremendous difference a certain generation. If you've seen the movie Oppenheimer and you remember Edward Teller character in there, people who came from Hungary who made a huge difference to American technological evolution, I guess you could say. Many ethnicities have contributed hugely to this morphing, as we call it, a melting pot. Not every nation is quite so, in a sense, volatile, but in a good way. Like we try to mix it up with, we use our media to help mediate, you could say. But it's quite a computationally intensive process, and the math wars was part of that, still is, right? How do we best impart math? And as you know from my work in this channel, it's a matter of Jupyter notebooks for me, Python, which could, and also other languages, embedded in a notebook kind of thing. Like if you want to do a different language in a notebook, I just like the notebook format especially, and it's well evolved in the Python world. So for me, it's definitely lots of Python and also weaving in this new approach to polyhedrons pioneered by the late Buckminster Fuller in the 1900s. So I'm weaving that in as kind of Americana. It's like to put the trademark, try kind of making it be consciously an American branch. I won't say fork. It's not that radical in some ways, but it is in others. So I do talk about it as radical math going back. If you and verboten math even, because probably you haven't heard of it. But then you're probably not using Python in your high school yet either. In France, I think it's better, right? More advanced in France. All right, talk to you later.